Oh, yes. Welcome to another exciting edition of your favorite program, Mind Your Business. Yes, and I'm going to be your host, a.k.a. Money Ron, Ronnie Ron, for the next 30 minutes. We're going to be talking to a young lady, a talented, creative nail tech extraordinaire. Yeah, wait. What? What an intro, boy. My goodness. Even I'm impressed with that intro. she goes by the name of Miss Kelianne Peter from underscore Nail St. Lucia. So Nail SLU. Get ready for amazing 30 minutes of nail talk, tips, and tricks to up your nail game. So welcome, Kelianne. Thank you so much for agreeing to see me. How are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my goodness, I'm super excited because even before the interview started, we are already vibing.
Yes.
I love that. That's very rare that you vibe. We didn't even say anything, we're already vibing.
Yes.
Let's go into the first aspect of the interview. And I've actually labeled every aspect of the interview, and this one is called nailing the basics. You get it?
I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
You see what I did there, right? You see what I did there. Let's start with the basics, Kelianne. How did you first get into nail artistry, and what inspired you to pursue this career?
I get asked that all the time. To be very honest, totally on accident. I've always liked doing nails. I've always loved painting my nails, and I was very inquisitive. So I started to do some research as to how I can continue to make my nails look good and last longer. And so I just decided to do a couple of research, and then I started to get really good at it. And persons started to, ask me about it and ask me to do their nails. And one thing led to the other. And 10 years later, here I am.
Oh wow, it's 10 years already.
10 years already, yes.
Walk me through like the first client that you had. How was that? Were you satisfied with the results? Have you ever looked back and say, yeah, need I do that?
Let me tell you. I mean, before that, I had not had any training. I was self-taught. And so I would just do, wing it pretty much. And looking back, thank God for grace and growth.
I'm really hoping that some of your original clients are listening and saying, you better come do my nails again. You owe me a nail job. I really hope they're listening. Let's run through. What is it that you probably, when you were younger, growing up, what industry did you think that you would have got into and done as a profession?
Boy, crazy enough, I actually thought that I would have been an accountant.
How did I don't know why I knew that. Like,
really?
you look like an accountant.
I actually did schooling for that, as far as my bachelor's degree in finance.
What's the fee, sir? What's the fee? Like a whole bachelor's in finance. Eh?
Yes. I am living proof that you can change your mind. Really, you can change your mind. And sometimes where you really destined to be is not necessarily where you spent most of your academic years. So
now,
go ahead.
Now that little piece of information now changes the whole dynamic of the interview, because I'm now even further more curious as to how does having a degree in finance help you with your business? Do you think it gives you that added edge over anybody else who is in that particular industry?
Absolutely. Simply because now this is a full-fledged business. And so there are many moving parts, specifically the finances, being able to do projections and make sure that I'm hitting target, to be able to set targets for myself as well as whoever is on my team. And so it really is something. I mean, there are a lot of persons who may not think that it is necessary for a small business to have projections and financial statements and these things, but it's so important, especially if you'd like to scale and grow. So absolutely, having a background in finance for so long, it really does do so much for the business. It does. It absolutely does.
What was the transition like from, probably having I presume you probably
Yes.
had a regular nine to
Yeah.
five in the financial sector,
Yeah.
and then you decided, hey, listen, I'm going to become a nail esthetician. I would like to hear some of your family's response. Like, that's what I said you to go to school to do, and to go and do nails. You just spend all that money and go and school. Can tell me.
Let me tell you, to be very honest, it was not a very clear cut transition where I got up one day and said, you know what, I'm not doing this anymore. It's not that at all. It was actually a whole 8 years of balancing going to school, doing my 9 to 5, as well as doing nails. And so a lot of my clients saw me in the space of corporate, and after work coming, doing the nails, and then doing it all over again for a couple of years. And so it's not just getting up one day and saying I'm done. I made sure to build my clientele. I made sure to do some savings and some financial planning prior to jumping off of it full time. So by the time I was ready to do it full time, I was totally comfortable to do that, both on the business side of things as well as personally. As it relates to my family, whew, everybody was people were they were happy but concerned. And I have to say concerned, because I think that's the best way to explain it, especially in our culture where you go to school and you have to get a good job and you stay within the 9 to 5 space and don't do anything else. You have a good job, you're fine. Just wait till you pension and da da da. And I had a pretty good job. I mean, I was comfortable, and I just made sure that, as I said, to make sure that I did the planning. But of course, nobody sees the planning behind the scenes. And so when you call your mom or dad and say, "Hey, guess what? I'm doing this full time," they're like, "What? You sure?" And I mean, I have not regretted it. And now I'm pretty sure right now they're realizing that, hey, I was onto something, and I am on something now, and it's something that has taken off. I honestly did not think that it would have been as it is now, and I'm so thankful for that.
That's pretty amazing. One of the things we get a lot from people who transition from the corporate world into self-employment, they talk a lot about the inner peace and being a more relaxed, and no need to do all those. I mean, it might be a little bit more work, but it's
Yes.
on your terms. What is it? Has that journey been for you?
Oh, it is a lot more work. I mean, I work 12 to, I'd say about 13 to 14 hours a day. And am I complaining? Absolutely not. I am tired, but I'm thankful. I always say that every time anybody asks me, how are you? I'm tired, but I'm thankful. Like, I always have to say that, because I really enjoy what I do. I mean, as much as during Christmas specifically, where it's so busy and I am working with one eye open, I am beat, but I'm always so thankful, because I always say that where I am now is where I once dreamt of being. And so I never lose sight of that. But it is a lot of work, especially starting off by myself and not necessarily having a stable team, and then going into the hiring process and the coaching process and me being a better leader and all of these kinds of things. There are certain things that will require a lot of a person transitioning, but it is so worth it. It really is, honestly.
So, based on what you just said there, am I right to assume that you have a whole team of people behind you in terms of other nail techs, rather than you just doing all the work? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, no, no. I'm actually the only person doing nails at my business. However, I do have a pedicurist, and I have a very talented marketing extraordinaire, as I call her, a marketing superhero that assists me with being present on socials. So yeah, it's really just three of us for now. Um, but it's a pretty good, tight knit team.
I like the sound of that. Girl power. I love it. What are some of the essential tools and techniques every nail technician, sorry, should have in their kits? I just
In
want
the
to do
kit.
that. Yeah, that's information for me too. So don't feel
Okay.
it.
I would like to say um, before even doing the nails, you have to be professional. You need to be dedicated to being professional. Because to be very honest, in this day and age where information is so accessible to us, any and everybody can be a nail tech. That's the reality. However, to stand apart and have a competitive advantage, you have to be very professional and you have to be very dedicated to making sure that you give out the best service, the best experience possible for the people who are recurring as well as the new clients. So that's that. As it relates to your kit, a good nail drill will not lead you astray, as well as a very good LED lamp also will not lead you astray. And pretty good products, base products, your acrylics, you're good. As it relates to skill, it's something that can be refined every single day, every single opportunity that the person gets to practice. Practice your heart away, practice on yourself, practice on your friends, practice on your family members, whoever it is that you can practice on, do that. Research is out there. It's out there for everybody. There is no secret to being a good nail tech. Really, the trick or secret is being consistent and practicing. Really,
Which is practically the secret of all businesses.
yes,
Period. You don't
for
have to be the
sure.
best. You just have to be super consistent. Let's move on to ask some more questions. For example, I've been on your Instagram page when I was introduced to you, so you know I have to go on Marco. I have to go on notes to make sure and it's incredible the nails, the designs that you do.
Thank
They
you.
are absolutely jaw dropping. Where do you find inspiration for these artistic creations?
Oh, my clients. I would say majority of them are my clients. A lot of them, because I've developed this very, very good relationship with my clients, they would probably send me stuff like, hey, next time around, I want to try this. And I'd be like, okay, well, I saw this. You want to mix it? You want to leave it like that? So we're very expressive. A part of our experience in the salon is always being expressive. So if I get something like I would share to particular clients, I know a lot of my clients very well what they would go for at particular seasons or particular times in the year. So a lot of the inspiration would come off of both of us, but mostly my clients.
Well, I see some clients are already checking in the comments, and one has just said, "Yes, she is so talented. She has never disappointed me. I have never left nailed dissatisfied." Oh, so that's amazing. I
Oh,
feel that
that's awesome.
calls for I feel that calls for a 10% discount. Huh? You see, Stephanie, I check it for you.
Right?
Stephanie, I'm definitely checking for you. How do you balance between being creative and still being technical? Because they don't necessarily go hand in hand. Here you have somebody with a serious degree in finance, out of all, yet doing a super creative or getting involved in a super creative industry. How do you find the balance?
I think it all boils down to me loving what I do, really. So none of it feels forced. When I am in my admin mode, I'm in my admin mode. I'm doing stuff, I'm pulling up, crunching in numbers, I'm doing stuff like projections and these things. And when I'm with my clients, it's a ball. We always have a good time. It's never a strict or rigid environment. So I feel like I'm able to switch very easily because I like both sides.
That's
Yeah.
that's amazing. Not everybody can wear the two hats. So kudos to you for doing this.
Thank
Now
you.
we're going into another business, another section. Huh? Now listen, listen. You listening? You listening? Make
I
sure you
listen
listen.
in.
Huh? Nailing business success. See what I
Ooh,
did there again?
I see what you did there.
Now we may have discussed it very, very, very briefly in the preamble. So I want to go deep down into it because this is a segment where we go really, really deep down into the business, minding your business. That's what we want to go into. Let's delve into your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah,
Now we said what inspired you to start. We already discussed that, yeah. But
yeah.
what were some of the initial challenges that you were faced with when you started?
Ooh, I would say one of the initial challenges, actually, as crazy as it sounds, I would say it was internal. A lot of negative self-talk, like, boy, I couldn't possibly be doing this like me. You know, I, nobody knows me, who's going to come? And I so a lot of it started on the inside. And so because it started on the inside, I would hold back a lot. I did not show much of my face. So you'd find like for a particular amount of years, I'd probably say about 5, 6 years, it was just a page before Instagram, Facebook. It would just be a page of nails, lovely nails, but just nails. And there was not a part of who is Kellyanne. And so I'm really just coming out of that barrier. So I would say the first thing for me, it would have been internal, just a negative self-talk and always thinking that, nobody possibly want to do their nails. Like, who knows me? Like, I mean, what? And so I think for me, it would have been that. The second thing would be, especially doing this full time now, getting and being able to run this on my own without feeling burnt out. Um, a lot of the times, I think a lot of people lose sight of what happens behind the scenes. So the making sure that the website is up to date, messaging people, responding to messages, taking the calls, making sure that this full thing runs as if there were 20 of us, and whereas it's really just three. And I am doing majority of what needs to be done. And so I feel like it's just being able to do that. Another hurdle for me would probably be lack of resources. In St. Lucia specifically, a lot of the resources that I would need, I would have to import them. And of course, having to import certain stuff, they cost a pretty penny sometimes, most times. And of course, now it affects pricing. So now we're stuck as the business owner trying to figure out how am I going to cushion all of these overheads. And so that is something as well, because the reality is if it were to be available in St. Lucia, then that a lot of these things would have been it would have been better
Mhm.
managed. So that would be another hurdle, the resources. And probably the last thing, if I'm honest, it would probably just be just to get a good solid team in place. My initial thought process before again jumping into it full time, because it's one thing doing it part time where you just leave work, you come in, you put in a couple of hours, and then you do it all over again. However, once you're doing it full time, I start sometimes as early as 8, but most times my first client is at 10. And I do not leave not until probably 9, 10 p.m. sometimes, right? And on holidays, a little later. And so it's a situation where in my head, I thought, I'll just get it, probably be like 5, 6 of us. And, I'd say I placed probably a set of unrealistic expectations on myself. With the hiring and training of people. And so that was probably one of my biggest aha moments where it's like, okay, it's not very easy finding team members. And also, it's also not very easy to keep team members as well, especially as a small business owner or just as a small business in general. So yeah, I think that these were probably my top 4 barriers or hurdles.
Now, that was well said. And but I want to stress a little bit more on the first one or the second one, I think it was, where you
Yeah.
said your own internal battles, because I think a lot of entrepreneurs, when they start off with, they always have that fear of, like you were rightfully saying, why would people come to me? There's so many
Yes.
options.
Yeah.
Walk me through some of the things that you did to overcome that particular hurdle, because I think that's a very common hurdle with entrepreneurs.
Yes, it is. To be very honest, I just did it. I mean, there a long time ago, I think I stumbled on something on social media that said that even if you're afraid, you do it scared, you do it tired, you just do it anyway. And I think that was just it really. To this date, I still have these thoughts that run through my head like, who is going to come? Who is going to come? Girl, you delusional, you know? And then in the same breath, I'm like, but you've done it before though, and people enjoy what they experience when they're with you. So why not, take a bet on yourself. Just do what you have to do, so I would not say that me doing it now is the absence of fear of negative self-talk. I think it's just me just pushing past it and doing it anyway, really.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
amazing. That's pretty amazing. I love it. What advice would you give to individuals interested in starting their own business, especially in the creative sector?
My number one advice would be take some time and really analyze things. And by things, I mean a lot of the times we go into business for the wrong reasons. A lot of the times people just go to make a quick buck. Now I'm here for the quick buck. Believe me, I'm sure we all are here for the quick buck. But a quick buck means that it's a quick business and it's quick to die too. So take some time and figure out what it is that you like. Because the reality is, if you're not passionate about this thing, this thing is going to be so short-lived that you
Mm.
would wonder, wait, I finished already? So so I would say just make sure whatever it is that you're going into, no matter what it is, no matter how absurd it sounds to anybody else, as long as you love it and you think you can do it, it's done already. Just do it. But just make sure that you love it. Make sure that it's a passion of yours. Make sure that it's something that even when the going gets tough and things do not pan out exactly how you thought it would, you would still stay your course. So yeah, I think passion over everything. Passion over everything. And there are some businesses I'm sure you've seen on socials, and it's like, people doing that, people going to pay money for that. But the reality is there are people who like to do these particular services or sell these particular products, and it works because it's their passion. And once it's your passion, you can sell it to anybody. So I would say that's my number one thing. Just be
That's
passionate.
amazing. That's some really good advice. Um, one of the questions I like to ask my guests every week is, sometimes you go into this and you, like you rightly said before, you had a regular 9 to 5 or
Yeah.
8 to 5, whatever it was. Um, was there any? I know there probably was a point in time when you started. You were like, you know what? I have a degree. I could just go back and get a job in a big industry and make millions of dollars a month. But there must have been one incident or something that happened, and you said to yourself, "Listen, I made the right decision. I'm sticking with this." What was that situation?
Oh, let me tell you. For starters, I have never ever felt the need to go back into corporate.
No way!
That's the number one thing.
Big
No
up to you,
matter
though.
how hard it is, no matter how sleep deprived I am, I have never, ever in my wildest mind figure, oh well, boy, let me just kick the bucket. Mm-mm.
Big up to
Absolutely not.
you.
But it is difficult. However, I would say the thing that I can remember very, very, very clearly was my first time opening my schedule out for the full day. I remember my last day in corporate was a Thursday, and I guess that's my love for Thursdays, so I'm always off on Thursdays. But my last day in corporate was a Thursday, and I got home and I opened up my calendar for the Friday, and I'm like, you know what? I had already had my space. At the time, I had somebody running the salon for me while I was at work, and so I figured, you know what? Let me just open this calendar. And, I'll just go in and do some cleaning, just to prepare. I'll send out some emails, let everybody know that I'm full time and everything. And honestly, I kid you not, I got up the Friday morning and I got to the salon, and by I would say about 9:45, my entire day was booked. My entire day. And I have to stress that this was me coming off of a 9 to 5. So people were only used to me working from 5 p.m. onwards. And I only opened it as soon as I got home that Thursday night. And by the Friday morning, it was booked out. I had no space, not even to eat. And
Wow.
that was when I sat and I said, you know what? If this is not God, I don't know what it is. You know? Because the reality is I had not reached out to that many people. I came from work, I was tired, I was excited because I'm like, oh my gosh, this is real, right? And I really had not had the time to reach out to so many people and had a book day. I had a fully booked day, and that week was very busy. It was new to me, so I was really tired,
I
right?
can
But
imagine.
yes, but I have not looked back since, and that was that time for me. That was the first day that I opened out my calendar for the full day,
That's
and
amazing, man.
yeah,
And may you continue to get many days like that, with the exception of
thank
Tuesday, because
you.
it's always good to take the day off. I take Mondays off. I do not work. I do not don't
Wow.
ask me no question on Monday. Yes, Monday is my beach. I go to the beach on Monday. Don't ask me nothing on Monday. So I definitely understand what it is to take a day off during the week.
Yes.
That was some serious, amazing points. Now I want to do something fun. Our last segment. I promise.
Okay.
This is our last segment. This is our
All
lightning
right.
round, right?
Let's
Now, I'm
do
going
it.
to ask you a couple of quick fire questions, right? And you're just going
Okay.
to answer yes. Just
Do I need time to
all based
prepare?
all
Fire
based in your
thing.
sector. All based in your sector. So don't worry.
Okay.
Okay,
All
so
right.
it's all about trends in the industry. So right now,
Yeah.
what's your favorite nail trend this season?
Crazy enough, hibiscus flowers are back. That's something that's like early 2000s. It's back, and it's like, oh, I am loving it. So I'm loving this trend very, very much, and my clients are loving it too.
Watch me shaking like my head, like I know what the hell you're talking about. Like,
Yeah, don't worry.
cool. Yeah, cool. Question number two: one nail color you can't live without.
Pink, hands down, pink.
Like pink, or like a salmon pink?
I would say a fuchsia pink, a nice, hot, grown and sexy fuchsia pink. Yeah,
I love it. And the final question in our quick round, yeah. The
yeah.
most challenging nail design you've ever done. What was that?
Oh my gosh, XL nails. By XL, extra long. That took me a while. I actually just did one for Carnival, and that wore me out. But I was super, super proud of it, which I definitely have to post that.
Well, Kellyanne, that's a wrap on today's episode. I want to thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for sharing your expertise and your passion with us. It's been an absolute blast. Now, I'm giving you this opportunity to tell people about your social, your handles, give them your contact information, and let them know how they could get in contact with you to get those nails. Now, you say I did it, huh? You say I did it, huh? I got it right,
Oh,
huh?
you did your research, boy.
Yeah, I got it right. Give them the information.
All right. So I can be contacted via direct message, WhatsApp at 384-6193, on Facebook, Nailed SLU. Nailed, that's it, with an ED. On Instagram, _Nailed SLU. I'm also having a network soiree business mixer this coming Saturday for all small businesses, big businesses, business and extraordinaires, the people who want to learn about business. Saturday, Rum Therapy Bar in Point Seraphin,
Oh,
7
I love
to
that place.
10. Yes. And
Oh,
if you'd like to attend, we have a couple more tickets. Not very many, but we do have a couple of tickets.
okay, well, hit me up after the interview. Just send me a WhatsApp message. Let me come and
No
get some
problem.
people to interview. I would love it. Kellyanne, thank you so much. And we look
Thank
forward to hearing from
you.
you at a later date. It's a very good interview, very informative. And I'm still have a couple of questions to ask you about the financial aspect of it.
No
And
problem. No
that's a
problem.
private
Thank you so much
question.
for
But
having me.
it is a pleasure, man. I hope to talk to you again
Yes.
sometime soon. All
Bye.
right, bye bye. Thanks to my guests for sitting down with me for the past hour. That was a lovely, very informative. Oh my goodness, that's how we do it every Thursday right here on Liberty FM. If you know anyone who's interested and or you think should be on the show, hit us up. You could go look for me on Instagram at AKA MoneyRun, AKA MoneyRun. Slide into the DMs. Yeah, baby, slide into the DMs. Let me know someone you think will benefit from being on this program. Keep it locked right here on Liberty FM. More music coming up your way. We've still got your celebrity news. We still have the birthday check-ins. Yeah, see who's celebrating their birthday and also a little bit of zodiac. Yeah, we gotta give you a little horoscope for the day. Hey, don't feel arouse me. That's how we do it.